this film was in the works, or at least the idea was way before that, The Descendants, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it came from a personal story.
Yes. The very first scene in the movie where Steve Carell's character asked Liam James' character what he is on a scale from 1 to 10, that came from my life.
If we were going to make this work, then there has to be trust.
Oh, his boyfriend called me a 3. Who says that to somebody?
That's about him. It's got nothing to do with you.
Was this like catharsis for you?
Absolutely. I mean, in the sense that but we've mined it before. You know, we did a television show. Our very first thing we wrote was called Adopted, and I'm adopted as well. So we keep pulling, not just from me, but certainly from Nat as well. And Steve came to mind pretty fast because he had an innate likability that we needed Trent to have. And also recognized that and wasn't afraid that he was playing a character that doesn't have that traditional like sort of arc where he starts one way and evolves to this sort of lesson, but rather a tragic male character who's stuck in this sort of vicious cycle created by himself.
But you know, Sam Rockwell is somebody we'd always loved in movies, and you know, has such incredible range, and you know, we kind of had Bill Murray from Meatballs, you know, as our template when we were writing it, and you know, then we spoke with Sam, and the first thing he said was, "This is kind of like Bill Murray from Meatballs, right?" And we're like, "Yes!" And so right off the bat, you know, we were on the same you know, wavelength.
Fred, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. You're having way too much fun. It's making everyone uncomfortable. Wow! I'm just kidding. That wasn't even my best stuff. Come on.
Allison Janney was amazing. She had like a 5-minute dialogue or a monologue that went on forever. What was that like? I mean, did you ever feel that you had to go in and say something to her during that, or just let her go?
No, it was.
She did it over and over again.
Yeah, it was. We shot all of that scene when they first arrive at the house, and she comes out from her house and just sort of goes through, you know, filling us in on everything that's happened, you know, over the year. And we did that all day, and she had the same energy from the start of the day that she did at the end of the day. It was incredible to watch, and she's just so much fun and so you know, hilarious that you really just let her loose and let her do her thing. You know, I mean, the character was sort of inspired by those Christmas letters that you get, you know, that are those Xeroxed copies, you know, of like people telling you everything that's gone on. But we had a friend who got one that was negative, that was very sort of brutally honest about things that did not go well over the year. And so we thought it was a funny, you know,
non-filter, no filter.
Yeah, inspiration for somebody who just has too much information. And I think Allison certainly, you know, connected with that and knew people that just don't know how to shut it off.
You're gonna love it here.
The stresses that we faced as co-directors were really things that were out of control. Weather, time, money, you know, all the things that would bring us all stress in general. I don't think we ever, in other words, we didn't shut down production because we had a big hissy fight. But we did, you know, Nat, we lived while we this is was probably harder for me, I think. But we lived in the same house while we were shooting because we were in this small area called Green Harbor. And it was me and Nat and his wife and 2 kids and our producing partner Kevin, his girlfriend, Nat's sister-in-law. And then, of course, Nat's is an extrovert, and so he has more friends than he probably anyone deserves to have.
There's such a thin line, I think, between something that can be very tragic and something that can be very funny. And oftentimes you need that release to get through it, or to understand it, or to put it in perspective. You know,
we would have some of our crew would wear the Water Whiz staff uniform so that we could have them in the shots, sort of, you know, acting as if they worked there to move the regular crowd along.
Plenty of looky-loo people.
You know, looky-loos. Yeah. But Water Whiz is the actual name of the place, you know, and so they asked us to keep their name, and we were more than happy to, and it's just one of those places. There's so many water parks now, obviously connected to a Knott's Berry or Six Flags, and our grand and huge in scale, and this was grand and huge in scale, but felt very like the ones we grew up on, you know, simple and old school.
Local.
Local, that's good.